every morning, Monday to Friday at 8:30, right before the markets will open. I hope you had a great night, a relaxing night, comfortable night, and you have a great start into your own trading, business, family day, whatever there is. You know, my recommendation every morning, make sure that you be happy every day. Thanks God, it's the own palm of your hands, and make sure that it happens what you will, that happen every day. Thanks God, we can do this with trading. We have this luxury product of trading, and we can follow the rules, and we can work with logic. This is what, in my opinion, most of the important things, that we can work with logic. And the moment you bring logic into your trading is the moment you become successful. So we stream this show on YouTube at the same time. You will find a button in the right corner. Then you can subscribe this channel. You can leave a comment if you want. You can give us a like if you want. And you can watch this show from Paul, Jens, or this morning briefing show afterwards again. So now let's go to the charts and share my screen and the chat. Great. So thanks, Nastia. Good morning, Nastia, by the way. Thanks for your information. So Ian, good morning. Hartmut, good morning. Mihai, wonderful, good morning. Nice to have you here. And of course, on YouTube, wonderful Michael, Darom, Olsi, Relaxation, Vladimir, and Lukasz. Wonderful, good morning here too. Nice to have you here in the show. Okay, so yesterday, Fed decision. So they the interest rate is, where is it? GDP. It's, they left it, but they said they increased the tapering from 15 to 30 millions. This fact was also known before. And what's kind of new is that the Fed wants to rise or to hike the decision, the tax next year 3 times, and instead of 2 times, maybe 3 times. So Mustafa, good morning. And this is the big news yesterday. As a consequence, the markets rised up yesterday and still rising, but we will have a look on the charts right now. So the big numbers, the big top news this morning: Australian jobs surge, Stokes case for tighter RBA policy. Then the Australian government forecasts smaller budget shortfall, and Mr. Moll's 3 options for ending of QA program in early 2022. And this will have a big impact of the Australian dollar. What do we expect today? Today is a very interesting and important day because we expect 2 more rate decisions. We expect at 1 o'clock the Bank of England with the rate decision, and a little bit later, the 1:45, the ECB interest rate announcement. So, and of course, then the press conferences afterwards. Then we expect a wholesale in Canada, a Canadian dollar, by the way, weekly report. And finally, in the evening, we have the gas storage report. But be careful with British pound, GDP today, and the euro dollar, the euro. So if you are engaged in some trades, so be careful with this, especially you make day trading in any kind of way. So let's go to our charts, and we start with the DAX trading. Yes, and we talked about yesterday how we can handle this situation with the Fed. So that was the day yesterday. So we had lovely, lovely trades in DAX 10 minutes. Most of them are very profitable. The short was profitable. So then I opened 2 days ago a long position in a second trend arm. That was the whole behavior yesterday. And with the opening yesterday, we saw, okay, there was a downtrend too. The uptrend was still valid, which means my long position was still valid too. But I have to calculate that the trend or that the downtrend will continue at the same time. So I open a position, short position, hedging, kind of in DAX 10 minutes to the short side. But afterwards, the price went up again. So I closed this short position and I set a pending order again at the same time. Because here I realized, okay, the trend is still valid, the signal is still valid, but I'm sitting in the wrong bus right now. So I delete, I take the small profit, tiny loss, and I set at the same time a new pending order on the lower side, exactly again at the point 2, in case this trend will continue, then it's my duty in the second trend term to open my position. So then we come closer to the Fed decision. And in this time, I have to confess, it was a quite speculation. It was not gambling what I did there, because gambling means you don't know what you do. In this case, it was just a speculation that either the downtrend will continue or the uptrend. Only this thing can happen. So I took my stop loss from the long position a bit far away because I was sitting in front of the screens. Yeah. So, and I had my short position also in. So then the red decision came up. The price moved a little bit because it was not really too surprising yesterday. Everything was well known before. 100% we are speculating that there is no changing of the rate decision. So, and also the rising of the hike of the tapering was also well known. The only surprising effect was the third hike next year, this hawkish kind of way next year. So this is the only surprising effect. So it's a consequence. It was a little bit move in it, and finally the long trend were continuing. So therefore I deleted my short position. It was not open, by the way. I deleted again, and then I trailed my stop loss in the long position. So, and then the price went up. We reached the point of control. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Again. So, and then I trailed my stop a bit and I leave it through the night. And when I woke up this morning, I saw this. I sold half of my position, and now I just trail my stop loss. And now we have this morning for the future opening a new correction. Now the price is going up, which means I can trail my soft stop higher. Here, I trail my hard stop to the previous 0.3. I take my alarm here also 2, and now let's go. Just let it go. Was this allowed to do this, to trade during the Fed decision? Of course, because I had an open position. I can handle this if I'm sitting in front of the screen. So what's the crucial point? The crucial point, guys, is your trade management. And if you're completely free of emotions while you trade with logic, then you can do this. Because if I would have a stop or a close below my last 0.3, yeah, then I have to cut. But at the same time, I had an open position to the short side. I was prepared for both sides. How you can handle this with calm and coolness? Yeah, money management. But if you have your focus on money, you get nervous, you get sweaty hands, you are not really calm, you look at your money all the time, and you decide about your account size and about your position size. And this is wrong. This is much way wrong. You have to follow your plan and you have to follow the rules. And only if you do this, you can follow the 4 magic L's. You remember? Logic, listen, let it go, let it run. Only if you have a proper money management. If you accept the inevitable thing that with your account size, it's not possible to become rich tomorrow. Your account size is there to train you in trading. But how you will be trained if you don't let it go? How will you make the experience to have a long-running trend if you always intervene into your trade? You will never make this experience, but you need this experience to do it again and again and again. So when will you give the market a chance to do what he has to do, what it has to do, to ride the trend? When will you make this decision? It's up to your money management. So go down, down, down to the point where the trade is completely uninteresting. The moment you really say, the moment you can really say, I don't care about the trade. I don't care. It doesn't matter it's going short or it's going in my loss or it's going in profit. I really don't care. The moment you can do this is the moment you become successful. But as long as you are always interpreting on the right side of the chart, always analyzing, is the moment you will never become successful in the long run. Yeah. Beside of all the other mistakes you can make, you know, catching every signal, probabilities, and so on. But this is a wonderful, crucial point. So, am I a lucky guy? Yes, I am. Of course. It was a kind of happiness. It was a kind of fortunate. Yes, it was a kind of luck. Yes, of course. But sometimes the market rewards you if you follow your plan. And I was prepared. I was able to close my trades as this short position, for example. I was prepared and I trade with logic, not with gambling, not with unexpected trades, something like this. And then you have sometimes this kind of experience. Cool stuff. So let's go to our focus charts. By the way, this is one of the deep things I teach you in this online course. By the way, at the weekend, you get a Christmas gift, a discount of 100 euros for the online course you will find on my homepage, or you can send me an email if you want, then I give you the code for the discount if you want. Okay, so about, oh, by the way, I have forgotten to invite you to our Telegram channel. Now I remember, Nastia. So Telegram channel, you will find the link in the chat and on YouTube as well. If you have Telegram on your computer or on your phone, then you can follow Admirals. Any very interesting chances. The last news came from McDonald's, as McDonald's vegan option continue to roll out in different regions. Beyond Meat shares rise 9% after a long downtrend. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, and I'm really happy because I seldom eat meat, sometimes, but very, very seldom. I'm not vegan, I'm more vegetarian, but sometimes, very sometimes, I eat a little bit meat. But this is obviously that when McDonald's decided to come to more vegan, that Beyond Meat shares and the rise of 9%. That's really cool. I love it, by the way. Okay, so here we go. Dow Jones is not longer valid for the moment. Why is it? It is because that's the trend. Move, correction, move. So we did our job. Entry, partial profits, trail the stop. I'd stopped out there. So everything was fine. Yeah. Now we have a trend break. There is a trend break. Actually, it's not a new trend because there was no close, which means actually we are completely trendless. So my question, not the daily question, not Nestia, not now. My question for you regarding of this trade here is, type in the chat box, please. What do we do if we don't have a trend? Type in the chat box. What do we do if we don't have a valid trend. If we miss rule number 1, what do we have to do? What's your duty? What's your duty if you miss rule number 1? What's the 4 capitals? You know, we always have 4. 4 magic rules, 4 magic L's, 4 magic capitals. What we have to do. You're completely right. To be honest, that is really touching for me, because now I know you follow my show very carefully, and I'm really, really proud of you, really. And I really, really hope that we will meet each other at any time. If you go to a roadshow with Admirals, once Corona is a little bit better, we can go on a world tour to meet every one of you in person. And I'm looking forward to this. Of course, 4 magic capitals, N, T, N, T. No trend, no trade. No trend, no trade. No trend, no trade. Very, very cool. Sit on your hands, wait, do nothing. We must not trade. We might trade, but only if the rules are valid. This is what we have to do. So just wait. Yeah. Maybe if you draw the trend perfectly, then you will realize, okay, that's my first trend arm, and that's the second. You see, there is a trend. I trick you out. That's the point. And this is why you have to learn to draw the trend perfectly, because there is a trend. I know. My teacher did the same with me. Either way. So really, really cool. But I'm really proud of you that you know if there is no trend, you don't have to do something. But guys, there is a trend. If you draw it perfectly. That's cool stuff. So let's go to DAX 40. And in DAX 40, there is still 2 trends. So we have, that's the first trend arm. And we are still in the second trend arm, basically. Yeah. But also, and you know, it's the second trend arm. That's my point 2. And you know, a trend continuation is always more likely than a trend break. Yeah. So, but also we have this short trend here in it. And this one, but it was already the second trend arm. And that was this difference here, this distance from the second trend arm down to the last point 2. Yeah. And it was enough maybe to make partial profits here. Yeah. And normally the stop loss should be placed below the last point 3 here. Yeah. And you know, if you took out 75% of your position size, yeah, or maybe you trail the stop loss, it's up to you to put it into the entry, into the profit, then it's fine. But don't forget, a main trend is still facing upwards. Yeah, and this can also happen all the time. Yeah, so maybe it's a cool stuff. Now we realize we are circling around the point of control. Let's see about the rate decision of euro. This could have a little bit impact to DAX also. If you trade 4-hourly chart, then it's interesting. There is a third trend, like Dow Jones, you know. And maybe if you see a bit of correction, we can do this in direction of the main trend. Then we have 2 trends in the same direction, and we can do this. Yeah, so be careful. You can follow all my trades, by the way, in our Traders Yard room. It's a free access. It's a live trading room. You have access to my screen all day long, and I give you updates all the time. There is a time schedule in the timeline of the group. Then you see when I will come up with the updates. So next one is Bitcoin. And in Bitcoin, there is still the main downtrend, yeah, but we are circling around the point of control actually. And for the moment, there is not really a trend, yeah. There is not really a trend. The main trend is still facing upwards, downwards, by the way. Then in this, yeah, uptrend, there was a trend break. So, and by the way, then we started here again. So, and here is a downtrend, yeah, in direction of the big downtrend, which is this one, yeah, this one. And on the right side of the chart, we can also see, okay, there is maybe a bit of, yeah, uptrend too. So it's a really unclear situation, to be honest. I would not do this. It's too unclear. So just let it go. If we have a really, really clear signal in Bitcoin. So let's see about gold. You see by yourself, there is nothing. Just circling around the point of control, not really a trend. Just let it go. So now Eur USD. And yes, still the uptrend. But wait until the rate decision is over today. So that's the trend. And you see there was no trend break over there. No trend break because no close below the last 0.3. So we can still expect of a trend continuation here. So this is the corridor between 2.2 and 0.3. Everything what happens in between is just a correction. It could be running an own trend, but it's still the correction of the main trend. Yeah, and maybe let's see about the rate decision this afternoon, but it's the third trend arm. You know, the next point of control is quite far away, 121 on the upper side. So we should not miss this trend. Yeah, but let's wait until the rate decision is over. And if there is nothing happening this afternoon, maybe, then we can maybe make an entry there or a little bit higher, latest close to the last 0.2. Yeah, maybe we get a chance to have a little bit such like this. Yeah, then that would be cool. So just wait, but don't miss it. Okay. Also, British pound, we expect the rate decision of the Bank of England. So for the moment, there is no valid trend for the moment. That is not really a valid trend. That's the starting point. Yeah, first and second, and just wait if we get this, and then we can make a long. Just wait for a clear, really clear signal. So that's the focus charts. My question of today, Nastia, now we can go. My question for you today is chart analysis needed? Is a chart analysis needed to become a successful trader? I have 3 answers for you. Yes, of course. No, I don't think so. Or I trade on my private opinion. So is the analysis of a chart, is this kind of chart technique, is this a need to become successful in trading? What do you think? Yes, of course. No, I don't think so. It's not a need. You can work with fundamental data, something like this. Or you say, I don't care both because I trade on my only private opinion. So let's go to the running trades. And we are really happy actually with the development. So in Australian Canadian dollar, we are still in. Yeah, the trend is still valid and we don't intervene. Okay, it's really important. We don't intervene for the moment. That's my trend. That's the trend. Just let it go. Okay, so just let it go. Just a moment, there was no. The stop loss is actually here below the last 0.3. Yeah, we made partial profits. Yeah, there is nothing to do for the moment, so the trade is safe, and maybe we see a little bit correction, and then just let it go for the moment. If you want, yeah, you can trail your stop loss into profit, but let's try it to ride the trend perfectly. Euro British pound. So, you know, we have two trades. Actually, that's the long trend still in.